Diving right into today's topic, today we're talking about the very best of the best drugstore makeup. Now, I have never been more picky with my product selections than I am with this video today. I'm hoping that it will help maybe beginners in makeup or anybody who's on a budget and wants the best that the drugstore can offer. Before I dive into all of my drugstore finds and the categories, we have a perfect, seamless sponsor for today's video, and that is Walmart. Walmart is the destination for affordable products. I'm sure you guys know. When I think of a new drugstore release, if I want to hunt it down, I'm always checking Walmart first. Walmart is my personal favorite place to find affordable beauty, and they have a huge selection on the website. I'm going to make it super easy for you guys. If you are interested in anything that I'm mentioning in this video, it will be linked down below so you can shop on Walmart. It's super easy, very seamless experience, and I recently restocked on a bunch of these drugstore goodies, and I actually appreciated, one, how fast they came, but also that they had nice little seals on them to stop them from leaking, and everything came intact and untouched, which I appreciate. So I highly recommend the next time you're hunting for a trendy, viral, affordable beauty item, checking Walmart out and seeing if they have it on walmart.com, because it's just way more hassle-free than driving around and hunting things down in store. But like I said, all of these products I'm about to talk about, in my opinion, are the very best of the best, and they will be linked down below for you guys to reference for later if you are interested in them. And thank you again, Walmart, for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's dive into the first category, and that is primer. So we all know that e.l.f. is absolutely killing the makeup game at the drugstore. They come out with innovation after innovation. When it comes to primer, I think they have the #1 primers in the game at the drugstore for sure. You guys know I love the Jelly Pop. It's my holy grail. But if I were to recommend one to anybody, it would be the original Power Grip, because this is fragrance free. I get some questions on what kind of skin types can wear gripping primer, and that's because I'm such a gripping primer stan. I use it in all of my tutorials, and I've seen people with oily skin love it, and I have dry skin and I love it. I definitely prefer the gripping primer because it does help my makeup last all day long, and it kind of gives me a nice hydrated, dewy complexion. But if you're more so, I want to fill up my pores and control oil, they also have the poreless putty primer that I would recommend if you guys are more on the oily side. This is an example of a product that I would reach for over my high-end makeup, and this is a $10 product. It truly cannot be beat. The e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This is somewhere in between primer and foundation for me because I like to use it underneath a skin tint. I really have been reaching for this a lot more now that they released a few more fair shades. The first one I had pulled a little bit yellowy on me, but now I have the shade 0 Fair, and this one is so perfect for my skin tone. This is going to give you that all over ethereal glow, and there just is no need to spend $50 on a product like this. It has that perfect, like, lit from within kind of candle lit type of glow effect. It's so stunning. It works really well under makeup, but also as a liquid highlighter, and I actually really like it on a no makeup day, just to highlight my cheekbones and give me that lit from within type of look. Let's talk about skin tints. So for drugstore foundation, I actually reach for skin tints over a full coverage foundation. That's just my preference lately. These two are essentially the same, so I want to talk about them both at the same time. The L'Oreal True Match Skin Tint was my first love in this category. I used the shade Rosy Light. I ran out of Rosy Light, so this is Fair Light, or no, Very Light. This doesn't match me as well, so Rosy Light is my preference. And this is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint. Both of these are so similar. The only difference I would say is that this is a little bit more hydrating. This is a little bit more long lasting. I am wearing the Maybelline today, and the one thing I will say is that the formula in the bottle holds up better with the Maybelline. This one gets a little bit goopy after it sits on the shelf for a little bit too long, which might be a me problem. And the dropper of this one is a little bit more messy than the dropper of this one. Honestly though, I overlook the dropper because the formulation of both of these is just so stunning. And the Rosy Light is such a perfect color match for me that I do typically reach more for the L'Oreal than I do the Maybelline, but I'm wearing Maybelline today. I think it's absolutely stunning, and both of these are top tier drugstore products. And don't let them scare you. They look like they would be shiny in the bottle, but they don't translate as being shiny or glittery on the face. If you haven't given either of these a go yet, highly, highly recommend. And then for the days that I really want like a no makeup day, but I still want to put something kind of skincare-y with a little bit of coverage, I've been reaching for this CoverGirl Essence. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is about halfway gone. I use this a lot in the summer in the really hot months because I feel like even if I sweat, it still is undetectable on my face. This has the little beads of pigment that are suspended in like a water-based formula. It's super watery and it's actually surprising the coverage. It has a nice coverage of my redness, and this one is packed with skincare, so I do like applying this to my face. I've seen that people are comparing this to a product that Chanel has, and this might be my most expensive drugstore product out of everything that I'm talking about, but I think it's because it's packed with those skincare ingredients and it's just an innovative, really cool product. Next up is eyebrows, and I have a unique brow, I guess, experience because I have super thick natural brows. So we're gonna be talking about 2 gels that don't get crusty in my eyebrows. First up, this one is a little bit newer to me, but I was absolutely blown away by it the first 2 times that I used it. This is the e.l.f. Brow Laminating Gel, and it has kind of like a creamy, kind of white looking formula. So I was a little bit worried that it would translate white in my brows, but it doesn't. It dries clear and you just comb it through the brows. It has a really good size wand, I guess I would say. It's not too big and not too small. And it has the double-sided comb and brush on the other side, so you can really adhere your brows to your face. So this is great when I'm wearing more makeup, I would say, because I'm doing a little bit more with my brows and taking my time with it. And then I have not heard anybody talk about this for some reason, and I really think that this is comparable to high-end brow gel. This is the CoverGirl Brow Enhancer Gel Wax in the shade Clear, and I really, really love this for an on-the-go, really quick, brush it in my brow, I don't have to worry about it type of day. One of my big problems is that the tails of my eyebrows want to fall down, so if I'm like in a hurry doing a no makeup look, or I just want something I can really trust, I just flick that in the tail of my brow and it stays up, but it doesn't get crispy. There are so many brow products on the market that do make your eyebrows crispy. I cannot be bothered with feeling like I have just sprayed hairspray in my eyebrows, so I need something with a little bit more of a flexible formula, but that still holds my brows in place. Moving on to concealer. So concealer is one of the categories that I got super picky with because there are multiple drugstore concealers that I enjoy that I would recommend, but there's only one that I am like, this is better than high-end. This is the only drugstore concealer that I need, and it's this NYX Bear With Me concealer. So this is their concealer serum, and I'm sure this could be used as a foundation. The coverage is amazing. It's also hydrating, so I guess maybe I prefer this because I have dry skin. Let me know if you've tried this and you have oily skin. It does not crease on my under eyes. It covers absolutely everything. I've used this to cover like spots on my face, but I mostly use this underneath my eyes in a very particular form of application. So because this comes in a pump, you can of course apply it with a brush, but I like to put a little tiny dot on my ring finger and warm it up between my ring fingers and then dab it underneath my eyes. Then you can blend it out with whatever you want, but it's like a foolproof method of applying this concealer and I will never look back. Mine is in the shade Vanilla. I'm wearing it underneath my eyes today. If I'm reaching for a drugstore concealer, it is probably this one. Now I'm calling this a brightener even though it is a concealer and brightener, but if you're looking for a pink under eye, there are quite a few again that you can find from the drugstore, but this one has been my favorite so far. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Under Eye Brightener in the shade 01 Rose. This has the little wand type packaging, which is hit and miss. Like, it's fine if you're using it on yourself, but if you're using it on clients, you would have to like squeeze out the product onto a palette and then apply it to the face. The shade of this is absolutely perfect for my skin tone. See, like I just got this super messy. So I don't love a wand applicator, but applicators aside here, we're talking about formula, and the formula of this is super hydrating, super brightening, doesn't crease under the eyes, and it's the perfect shade of pink. If you're a fan of that pinky under eye trend, then I think that you would also like this for that. But today I only used a small little dot in the inner corner of my eye, and it really, really wakes me up whenever I use this. I don't like that I just proved that it's a messy product, but it's okay. It's honestly worth it. I want to talk about my 2 drugstore picks for eyeshadow, and the reason I went with these is because they are all matte palettes. I prefer an all matte palette from the drugstore. I think that high-end just have more to offer when it comes to shimmer. First up, we have the ultra affordable e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. This one is in the shade I Like You a Latte. This has everything you need for an everyday matte look. You can even do like a smoky wing with this palette, and I'm pretty sure that these are $3. This is also ultra travel friendly. I personally get very worried and anxious about my expensive makeup when I travel. So if I could just throw this in my makeup bag, it would make me feel a little bit better about what I'm carrying with me. Not that I would want anything to happen to this, but you guys know what I mean. Another great drugstore option is the Milani Gilded Mini Palettes. This one is in the shade Whiskey Business. This one has a bit more of a color range to offer, and this is what I have on my eyes today. I like that it has a really deep brown, so I can create my smoky wing. It also does have that nice cream color. Both of them do. If you're a beginner just getting into eyeshadow and you want to play around, these are both really good formulas to practice with, and you're not dropping an arm and a leg on an eyeshadow palette, but I'm not going to pretend like I don't have wildly expensive eyeshadow palettes. And I certainly reach for my high-end shadows a lot. Okay, so as much as I love my high-end makeup, I will stand by this forever, you guys. You never need to spend high-end money on a mascara. I have high-end mascaras. I love them. I try them. I appreciate them. I will buy them, but you don't need to, because there are so many options at the drugstore that are just as good, if not better, than high-end mascaras. So my favorite drugstore mascara, I actually don't have with me because I used it up and now I'm using up other things that I have, but it's the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. I will insert a picture for you guys. It has a skinny, hard plastic wand, which is what I appreciate because I have stick straight lashes. I need something that's really gonna get in there, grip them, and lift them. So for black mascara at the drugstore, the L'Oreal Telescopic in Carbon Black is the GOAT. Okay, you need it. This is the CoverGirl Eye Enhancer Mascara, and it's in the shade Dark Chocolate. Now, the reason I love this so much, one, is because the color of this brown mascara is the most delicious brown color. It literally looks like melted chocolate. And not only that, but there's something about the wand of this mascara. It lifts the crap out of my lashes. And I did not expect to like it because, like I said, I really like a straight, hard wand. This has a curve to it and it's a little more flexible, but it lifts my lashes to the sky. And I don't like the packaging. Sorry, CoverGirl, but it's absolutely worth trying. It's so good. I would recommend it to anybody who's looking to try brown mascara because it's that girl. This dark chocolate color, it is incredible. Okay, I am a blush freak, so we're gonna talk about blush as quickly as I can. I could go on and on about it all day long. I have a lot of favorites that are high-end, and these are super comparable to the high-end counterparts. First up is the liquid blushes from e.l.f. I have the shades Pinky Promise and Dusty Rose. These are slightly dewy, so you have to like that finish in a liquid blush, but honestly, they're stunning. And then guys, if you are a fan of the plumping blush veils from Makeup by Mario, you're gonna be obsessed with these Milani cream blushes. These are a recent discovery. I have this nude one on my cheeks today. This is the shade Nude Kiss. This one in the shade Merlot Moment is so beautiful for the upcoming fall months. These are creamy and dewy, and I think these are the best cream blushes at the drugstore. Now, if you're looking for powder blush, there are a ton of options at the drugstore. And this was a little bit difficult for me too because I do have some that I love, like from Milani. Luminoso is like an icon. I love that blush. I also really like the Physician Formula Butter Blush, but I haven't used them in such a long time that I didn't want to choose those. So I have one that is a recent favorite, and that is the NYX Buttermelt Blush, specifically the shade Getting Butta. These are super pigmented. They're super blendable. I really like the way they apply to the skin. They also leave a really nice finish to the skin. This one has a tiny sheen to it, so it kind of gives you a nice healthy glow, and I really love this shade of pink. I've been such a huge fan of this type of pinky blush, and I feel like this is a nice transition from summer to fall color. And if I remember correctly, I want to say that these are around $10, and they are super, super comparable to high-end blushes, so you're saving a ton of money here. Moving on to bronzer, I have one cream bronzer, and it is from Milani. I discovered that I love their cream products. Everyone was talking about this and I just never jumped onto it, and I did end up purchasing it from Walmart. I got the shade Hey Honey. This is what I have on for my bronzer today. It's the perfect in-between shade. It's not too orange, it's not too gray, it's right there in the middle. It's a great shade for me. Again, it's Hey Honey, and this is the only drugstore cream bronzer that I would reach for over my high-end ones. And for powder bronzer, it's kind of the same thing. I really loved the Physician Formula Butter one, but I haven't used it in like a couple years, and I have been reaching for the Butter bronzer from NYX, and this is in the shade All Buttered Up. I kind of broke mine a little bit. I dropped it. This one smells good, just like the Physician Formula as well. I think these are a little bit more pigmented though. And I do actually really like the packaging of the NYX Buttermelt products. I think they're a little bit more elevated in the drugstore. Okay, let's talk lip liner, you guys. Lip liner is one of those products that I will splurge on because of the lasting power. So I only have one, and it's because of the bang for your buck out of these. These are only $2. So these are the e.l.f. Cream Glide lip liners, and I want to say they do have a little tiny downfall, and that is that once you pop these out of the packaging, they don't have the shade on them anymore. So yeah, genuinely, unless I'm going crazy, I don't know what shade they are anymore. I want to say that one was Pinky Promise, and I can't remember what the other one is, but they are very, very creamy. I am wearing one of these today. I'm wearing the more brownie one today. These are super creamy. They're not the most long-lasting lip liners in the world, but they're $2. There's a bunch of really great colors. They are sharpenable, so they're super sanitary. I just don't think you can beat the price point of these. Now, lip products are one of those categories, just like mascara, where I think that you can get a really great lip product from the drugstore. You do not need to go high-end. So I have a few different categories. We're going to start with liquid lipstick, and in my opinion, these are the best liquid lipsticks at the drugstore. These are the L'Oreal Infallible liquid lipsticks. I'm sure they have a long name that I can't think of right now. I'm wearing this one today. This is the shade Breakfast in Bed. It's such a perfect pinky nude. It's not too light, not too dark on my skin tone. These have a nice pointy applicator. They dry down to a nice soft matte finish, and they're ultra long lasting. Again, they have so many colors. I really want to see if they have a nice dark brown, because that's kind of my go-to in the fall and winter. I wore this beautiful red one the other day. This is 420 Le Rouge Paris. Both of these are stunning. They last a really long time. They don't crack on the lips. Your lips don't look crusty. They're not sticky, and they're not ultra drying like some liquid lipsticks I've tried in the past. So I actually have a regular lipstick at the drugstore too that I think came in and swept all the other drugstore lipsticks away, and that is the new CoverGirl Clean Lipsticks. I chose the shade Crema because it's my favorite nude shade out of the line. Is this not giving KKW packaging? Honestly, this is like so glidey, so comfortable. It has a slight sheen to it. It's a very natural finish. I'm pretty sure these are under $6. Don't quote me, but they're super, super affordable. I did a video swatching all of these minus one. I think I was missing one shade, but these are absolutely stunning. You cannot go wrong with these. They don't have any animal byproduct. They're clean and vegan, cruelty-free, all of that. Honestly, I'm obsessed with these. They really knew what they were doing with these, and I think that these are the best of the best drugstore lipsticks. CoverGirl came in this past year with the trendiest products that they knew that people wanted at an affordable price. They did that with the Yummy glosses, and these are my favorite drugstore kind of purse glosses is what I call it. I carry them with me everywhere. I do have videos swatching all of these as well. Oh, they smell amazing. They have the huge doe foot. They're ultra shiny, comfortable on the lips. This one is the shade But First a Cosmo, and that's my favorite shade for summer, but they also have the daylight shades, like a bunch of neutrals, and this one, it's like a jelly donut. I love these glosses. They're my favorite drugstore gloss. Very trendy. They make my lips look nice and plump. I'm obsessed with these. And then you cannot talk about drugstore bangers without talking about the e.l.f. lip oils. These are $8 versus the $40 counterpart in the high-end department. They have a bunch of shades. They're nice and sheer. They're very comfortable on the lips. These do have a minty scent. I like the mint. I think there's a time and place. It almost kind of makes you feel like you have fresher breath when you're wearing a minty product, but I do personally prefer a fruity lip oil, but you cannot beat this formula for the price at the drugstore. And my final category today is setting spray. I have two setting sprays from the drugstore that have really blown me away, and one of them is the Power Grip from e.l.f. This, as we know, is very comparable to the Milk makeup one. I do find that it helps my makeup last, but it also gives me a little bit of hydration back into my skin and helps my skin look more glowy, especially if I piled on the powder that day. And then this Milani one is actually blowing me away. It's the Make It Last Original Natural Finish Setting Spray, and this has helped my makeup last through the most vigorous workouts lately. It's absolutely blowing me away that you can get a setting spray like this from the drugstore. And the mister on this one is very impressive. The cloud is a super misty cloud, so it's not going to mess up your makeup at all. Honestly, so is the e.l.f. one. They both have a nice fine mist. I think that's probably why I like them so much. They're not like shooting you in the face with droplets and like running down your makeup. I don't think you could go wrong with either of these, but if you're more on the dry side, I would try this one. More normal to oily, I would try this one. So all of those products are my absolute holy grail drugstore makeup products. They are products that you need to try from the drugstore if you're looking for affordable makeup. If you are very observant, you will see that there are a couple categories of makeup that did not make it into this video. One being eyeliner and the other being setting powder. And that's not to say that there are not drugstore eyeliners and setting powders that I love, but there are none that I reach for over my high-end counterparts. I'm telling you, everything else I will actively choose to use the drugstore over high-end. But if you want to help a girl out or you want to help each other out, drop your favorite eyeliner and setting powder recommendations in the comments. That would be really great and help everyone as a community and also help me. I'm sure I have some in my life, but I've just been so set in my ways with some of the products that I use every single day, so that is why I did not include them. And if you guys are interested, like I said, all of the products in this video will be linked down below, nice and organized, so you guys can check them out. As always, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy drugstore makeup content, and subscribe if you're new here. I would love to have you as a part of this little community, and hopefully I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.